Hello everyone, I'm Piper, and I'm a loser, quite a loser, and seems like more of a dishwasher rather than a girl. Well, I'm wearing a short dress, $30 makeup, and expensive dress panties, and in my hands, well, not that thing, my naughty little viewers, not that at all. I've got a duster, damn it. Well, never mind. I'll take revenge on this jerk anyway. Just have to dust the first floor of the house. Then I will take my revenge. He will regret he was ever born. But before we move on to the story, please subscribe to the channel. Click the bell button to never miss new videos. I guess you've watched Netflix's Squid Game, or at least heard of it. Anyway, the plot. A big group of adults are in a bunker with no communication. They play Korean kids games. If you lose, you die. Anyway, it's interesting and fascinating. But my story isn't about the series. I mean, not really about the series. Well, my boyfriend, Bill, suddenly became a great fan of the Squid Game series. He bought all the merch he could find on the internet. He constantly rewatched the episodes. He even got a ringtone with the soundtrack from the series. Anyway, it didn't bother me much. After all, everyone should have a hobby. At least he's not playing computer games all day long. But one day, this hobby started interfering with our relationship. Our first time, not sex, happened when he jokingly invited me to play some games, like in the series. I agreed. It seemed fun to me. Well, it's just a trend. Why not try? Especially since Bill said it would somehow shake up our relationship. Well, Bill made honeycombs. In fact, he had never cooked in his life before. Apparently between try something from the Squid Game and never approach the kitchen, Bill chose the second option. Before we played, we agreed we would be playing on a bet. That made the game more interesting. At first, our honeycomb figures were simple. Triangles, circles. I won 2 rounds easily. Then Bill offered to complicate the task and brought me some strange figures. Umbrellas, stars, houses. Apparently, he thought he would finally win this way. But I guess it's strange to think about winning when he had already shown himself as a loser before. And then Bill forgot that I've been scrapbooking for the last 3 years. For me, this curly cutting was already in my blood. I even took orders for albums and notebooks on the freelance exchange. So his umbrellas and whatever didn't become a problem for me either. I just had to tinker a little longer. After 5 games, where Bill proved to be a total loser, I celebrated my victory. I had a bet for him. He had to stand in the middle of the mall and recite some poetry. He did it, and it was quite funny. Then we played marbles, or a guess game. One puts some marbles in their hand, and you need to guess if the number is even or odd. And here, I also won easily because I had good intuition. This time, Bill even got mad. He murmured some resentful things about female logic and even accused me of cheating. As a punishment, we kissed on the escalator in the subway. Why? Well, Bill hates public displays of affection, and I used that one to make him more angry. I thought it was the end of it, but no. You see, excitement prevails in Bill's brain instead of common sense. Well, we played tag, tug-of-war, hopscotch, and when the games from the series ended, we turned to classic kids' games. Failures followed Bill one by one. He continued to lose. He got mad, cursed, but he still performed my tasks. I didn't make anything hard. I remembered the initial goal, shake up our relationship. So I always came up with some cute things, like standing in an embrace for a whole song or saying I love you in 10 different languages. But he didn't like it anyway. He even started to joke about the fact that in a real Squid Game, he would be the first to be killed. So in the last game, red light, green light, I decided to play along with him. We took turns playing the role of a doll and a pedestrian. I diligently pretended not to notice how Bill was moving. Then, when it was my turn to be a pedestrian, I deliberately jerked at the right moment. I just wanted him to win already and calm down. You should have seen how delighted he was. There was such a sincere happiness on his face. He started yelling I was a loser and he was a champion. When I asked him what my bet was, He just smiled mysteriously and told me to wait. A week later, I received a text message from him. Come to me in the evening. How intriguing. For some reason, it seemed to me I knew what kind of task he wanted to give me. In the evening, I was beautifully dressed, wearing gorgeous underwear and standing at the door of his house. There were no cars, no lights in the windows. Bill came out to meet me, smiled, and tied a black scarf over my eyes. The evening gradually got more and more romantic, exactly until Bill took off my blindfold. I expected to see a set table, candles, rose petals. What else do they have in romantic evenings? Anyway, all romantic movies were flashing in my head, and I found myself in the epicenter of chaos. Chaos! There was a feeling a tornado had passed through the cozy living room and scattered everything around. I think you got me. I asked what the heck was going on. Bill happily shoved a bucket in one hand and a rag in the other. Then he said this was my task. I had to clean his house before his parents arrived, because the party at his place went a little wrong, so if his parents saw it, Bill would be killed. We didn't agree on this. It wasn't a task. It was something obscene. I was at a loss for words. Oh yeah, cleaning would be okay, but the biggest irony was that I had to clean up after a party that I hadn't even been invited to. Well, I didn't even know my boyfriend was throwing a party. That is, he just called his friends, not me, and then he wanted me to clean this up. Oh my God. Of course I refused, because it was unfair, even disgusting. I didn't force him to wash public toilets or do any other nasty things. I honestly came up with nice and cute things for the two of us. But Bill said it was my duty. And fair's fair. He wouldn't let me out of the house until I cleaned everything up. That's how I found myself in the epicenter of chaos, wearing a nice tight dress with collapsed expectations and faith in people. Oh yeah, I also had a rag and a bucket. I had to clean 2 floors. These, partygoers made a mess of all 2 floors of the house. I literally hated them all, especially Bill. And then I decided, since he loved the Squid Game so much, he'd have it in real life. A couple of ropes, 1 closet, 1 poorly installed board on the floor, and the trap for this party lover was ready. Seems like this game was called Bridge or something like that. So I looked at what this deadly quest looks like in real life. I purposely stayed longer at Bill's, pretending I hadn't finished cleaning the kitchen, so I saw everything with my own eyes. Bill opened the door, greeted his parents joyfully. They praised him for a clean house and that he was such a good boy. Then he took 1 step clearly on the board I needed. The ropes tightened, the closet opened, and all the garbage I put inside the closet fell out on their heads. Bill lost again. His parents started yelling like crazy. They didn't even notice me laughing and running away from their house. They were busy trying to restrain themselves. And Bill just blinked and didn't understand what had happened. As you see, I don't have a boyfriend anymore. After this setup, Bill got very offended and we broke up. But I wasn't upset. I still had a picture in my eyes where pizza leftovers and other garbage were hanging from his ears. It makes me laugh. Do you think it was worth it? Or did I not need to take revenge on my boyfriend? Write your opinion about the story in the comments below. Don't forget to like it. Share your stories if something similar ever happened to you. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!